Okay, so, ready to dive into daily routines?
Yeah, always interesting.
Yeah, forget those, like, super intense schedules you see online. We're looking at, relatable stuff today.
Right, right. Like, how do real people actually structure their day?
Exactly. And today we've got a YouTube podcast, two English speakers, Emma and James, just chatting about their routines.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. So, should we start with mornings?
Sure, mornings are good.
Okay, guy. So both Emma and James are early birds.
Makes you wonder how they do it.
Yeah, I know, right? But they start their days totally differently.
Yeah, Emma is like phone first thing, all those messages and scrolling.
Oh, I do that too. Is that bad?
I don't know, is it? James stretches first?
Mm-hmm. Healthier, maybe?
Maybe. Oh, and he used to be like a huge coffee drinker, but now it's just water in the morning.
Wait, seriously, maybe that's his secret, Like, I know if I'm dehydrated, I can't focus.
It's possible. What about you, listener? What's your first thing? Phone, stretches. Something totally different.
I'm curious to know. Okay, so moves on to breakfast. Emma is all about what's trendy now.
All right, avocado toast.
Yeah, that or oatmeal.
James is more like scrambled eggs and toast.
Oh, classic. Sometimes he adds some greens too.
Fancy. But they both, make sure to eat something nutritious.
Yeah, like setting themselves up for a good day.
Yeah.
Although James admitted to just grabbing a banana if he's running late.
Yeah, even the most organized people have those moments.
So true. Okay, now their pre-work routines. This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, very different. Tell me.
Okay, so Emma, she needs her quiet time, like a cup of tea and looking out the window.
Sounds peaceful.
Yeah, very mindful. James is more like go, go, go. He has a dog, Max, and walking Max is his thing.
Fresh air, exercise, quality time with the pup. I like it.
Makes you think, is one better than the other? Or is it just finding what works for you?
Good question. And then their commutes. James uses that time for podcasts, learning and stuff.
Smart. I just listen to music.
You should try podcasts. It's really interesting. Emma actually said she might try them too.
Maybe I will. I love discovering new podcasts. What are our listeners' commutes like? What are you listening to?
Let us know. Now, work time. Both Emma and James like to tackle the big tasks early, but their focus, how they stay focused, is so different.
Yeah, James, he works in these like bursts. Works really hard, then takes a break, kind of like a sprinter.
It's called the Pomodoro technique, actually.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. What's that all about?
Well, it's all about using like natural rhythms. Like our bodies have these natural cycles.
Ah, okay. So instead of pushing through, you're taking breaks before you crash.
Yeah. And James even said if he feels like he's losing focus, he'll just walk around the office, just a quick walk.
Movement breaks are so important. It really does help, even for a few minutes.
Absolutely. Now, Emma, she seems to just power through.
Like a marathon runner, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But do we know if she takes any breaks? Maybe she just has different types of breaks?
True. Or maybe he's just got amazing focus.
Maybe. But, it's good to see different styles and like, maybe I could try that.
I agree. Okay, after work, their evenings, this is where we see their personalities even more, I think.
Definitely. What do they do to unwind?
Well, James has hobbies, lots of them. Chess is his main one.
Ooh, I love chess. Keeps the mind sharp.
Right. And he's also learning guitar.
Wow, multi-talented, creative outlet too, right?
Exactly. And, relaxing doesn't have to be just sitting around.
True. What about Emma?
Emma, she's a reader, gets lost in books.
Ah, classic way to escape.
And they both play video games, but, like, in moderation.
Not too much.
Yeah, gotta have some fun. It seems like they both really get the idea of needing time to recharge after work.
Absolutely. It's so important. Choose things that you actually enjoy and that make you feel good. What about you, listener? What helps you recharge after a long day?
Great question. All right, moving on to dinner. Are they gourmet chefs? Takeout addicts? What's the deal?
I'm curious. They seem pretty health conscious.
You're right, they both enjoy cooking. But like simple stuff, nothing fancy.
Yeah, cooking can be really relaxing.
Totally. And you know what you're eating.
Exactly. But they're also realistic. Takeout happens.
Of course, gotta have balance.
Absolutely. It's not about being perfect. It's about doing what works for you.
So true. Okay, last thing before we move on. Pre-sleep routines. Sleep is so crucial, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It impacts everything.
So Emma sticks with her, calming rituals, tea and a book.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's super peaceful. James tries to get to bed early, but he admitted that sometimes a good show sucks it in.
Happens to the best of us. But they both know sleep is important and try to prioritize it. Exactly. It makes you think, though, listener, how much does your pre-sleep routine impact your sleep quality?
Great point. It's easy to overlook these things. So what do you think so far? What are your first impressions of Emma and James's routines?
I mean, they're so different, but they both seem to work. They've really found what works for them.
Right. And it just shows there's no right way to do this whole daily routine thing. But hold that thought. There's more to discuss. We'll be back after a short break with part 2.
Okay, back to our deep dive. We talked about their mornings, breakfast, even how they get to work. Now it's what they actually do all day.
Right, like their actual workday routines. We know they both like to get those big tasks done early on, but how do they stay focused, especially since they're so different, personality-wise?
Well, you know how James works in those bursts? He calls it like sprint and recover.
Uh-huh.
Turns out it's pretty much the Pomodoro technique.
Okay, yeah, you mentioned that earlier. But what is it exactly? And, like, would it work for someone who's not already super structured?
Well, it uses those like natural energy cycles we all have, those rhythms.
Okay.
So you work when you're focused, not when you're tired. It's 25 minutes of work, then a 5-minute break.
Ah, so instead of burning out, you're preventing it.
Exactly. And then at the 4 of those cycles, you get a longer break, like 15, 20 minutes.
Wow, that's actually kind of smart.
It is. And James said even during those work sprints, if he feels his focus slipping, he'll just, get up and walk around.
Oh, yeah. Movement breaks. I read somewhere that even a few minutes of walking can really help you think better.
It's true. Now, Emma, she seems to just keep going and going.
Right. No breaks.
Well, maybe she has different kinds of breaks. Maybe she switches tasks but keeps working.
Yeah, that's possible.
Or maybe she's just naturally good at focusing for long periods.
I wish I had that skill. But it's good to see these different approaches. Makes you think about what might work for you.
Totally agree. Okay, let's switch gears. Evening routines after work. This is where you see their personalities shine, I think.
For sure. And their choices are pretty different. James, like we said, loves chess, really gets into it.
Strategic thinking, right?
Yeah. And he's learning guitar too.
Wow, that's awesome. It's good to have a creative outlet.
Totally. And it shows that relaxing doesn't have to be passive. Doing something challenging can be relaxing too.
So true. What about Emma? How does she unwind?
Emma, she's all about reading, escaping into books.
Nice, a classic. Gets it out of your own head for a bit.
And then both of them, they play video games.
Really?
Yeah, but like in moderation.
Gotta have some fun. It's all about balance, right?
Exactly. So on to dinner. Are they like master chefs? Do they live on takeout? What's the story?
Spill the beans. I have a feeling they're into healthy eating.
You're right. They both like to cook, but like simple things. Nothing too complicated.
Yeah, cooking can be so therapeutic.
I know. And you know exactly what's in your food.
Totally. But they also said takeout is okay sometimes.
Of course. Life gets busy.
They gotta do what you gotta do. It's about finding what works for you.
So true. Now, before we get to their bedtime routines, what are you thinking so far about their evenings?
I think it's cool how they both choose things they really enjoy. It's not just about filling time, it's about recharging.
I agree. Their evening activities are very them.
Yeah, totally. And it shows how important it is to have things you enjoy outside of work. It's not all about productivity.
Okay, so bedtime. We know how important sleep is. What are their strategies for winding down at night? So, bedtime routines. What do Emma and James do to, like, actually get ready for sleep?
Well, Emma keeps it simple tea and a good book.
Oh, that sounds so nice. Like, instantly relaxing.
Right. It helps her signal to her brain that it's time to chill out. James, though, he tries to get to bed early.
Good for him.
But he did say that he gets sucked into a show sometimes, later than he meant to.
Yeah, that's relatable. Those late night shows can be dangerous. But it seems like even though they do it differently, sleep is important to both of them.
Definitely. And it makes you think, we talk about the big things like eating healthy and exercising,
Right.
but little choices matter too, like what you do first thing in the morning.
That's true. We were talking about that before. Emma goes for her phone, James stretches. Do you think that, like, says something about them?
I think it might. Like maybe Emma needs to be connected right away, and James, he's more focused on his body, starting the day mindfully.
Interesting. What about you, listener? What are those little things you do that maybe without realizing it shape your day?
It could be anything. And think about their work styles too.
Oh, yeah, good point. James loves that Pomodoro technique, all structured, and Emma just gets in the zone and goes,
Maybe that's about like how their brains work.
yeah, maybe. James likes to think things through step by step, and Emma is more, I don't know, intuitive, just dives in.
Could be. And it shows there's no right or wrong, just what works best for you. And how about their hobbies? How they relax? That tells you something too.
Totally. James, with his chess and guitar, he likes using his brain, being creative.
And Emma, lost in her books.
It's almost like they choose things that balance out their work.
Yeah, like James keeps challenging his mind, and Emma lets her mind relax and explore.
That's a good way to put it. So we've covered a lot about Emma and James' routines. What do you think are the biggest things we can all learn from them?
Well, the main thing is there's no magic formula, no perfect routine that works for everyone.
Right. You have to figure out what works for you, your personality, what you like, how you work best.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to try new things. Maybe take a bit from James's routine, a bit from Emma's, see what sticks.
Yeah. So listener, what small change are you going to try? Maybe swap out coffee for water in the morning, or try a 25-minute work sprint. Or just notice those little habits you have, the ones that are shaping your day without you even realizing it.
It's all about finding your own rhythm. What makes you feel good, productive, happy?
Well said. This was a fun deep dive. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep creating a routine that's perfect for you.